guaranteed.
Cold and mostly dry tonight, apart from a few showers in some areas of the north and northwest. Frosty with icy stretches possible elsewhere. Lowest temperatures of -1 to +3 degrees. And now you're up to date on News Talk.
The Football Show on Off the Ball.
With Paddy Power, the greatest football partnership since Shearer and Owen.
I'm prepared to do anything I can to play for my country again.
Do it then. What about your start to the game?
It wasn't bad, was it?
Why should an honest answer be a mistake?
How can a modern day manager not have a mobile phone?
Why should he?
I think you'll find the greatest football partnership is Nathan and Stewie at a Republic of Ireland friendly on a cold night at the Aviva Stadium. Let's hope so anyways. It is Thursday night's football show. We are live from Lansdowne Road, where the Republic of Ireland lead New Zealand by 2-1 midway through the second half of this friendly. The Republic of Ireland coming from behind to go in front. Seanie Maguire with his first international goal, and what a way to score it as well. 51 minutes gone, ball came to him 25 yards out onto his right foot, and he smashed a shot past the New Zealand goalkeeper. Brilliant goal to put Ireland in front after Derek Williams had equalised with a header just before half time. New Zealand have played well, it's got to be said. They haven't played an international for 520 games, but they've, as you said, Shoey, been well coached. They've linked up quite well. They took the lead in 29 minutes through Callum McCowett on his debut. But by and large, this has been a good and entertaining Republic of Ireland performance. They've got the ball down, they've passed it around. But the big question is, has anyone done enough to impress Mick McCarthy to force their way into his thoughts for the big match against Denmark on Monday night? Jack Byrne and Troy Parrott, they are done. They have been replaced in the last few minutes. How did they do, Stewie?
I think they did okay, yeah. I think Parrott probably didn't get the service that he would have liked to have gotten. Didn't do very much wrong, but in saying that, didn't have very much to kind of feed off. We mentioned earlier that he quite early on got involved with the two centre halves, and he put it up to them and showed that he's at this level anyway. He's mature enough to cope with the physical side of things. You might even argue the mental side of things as well. But I think Jack Byrne for me had a very, very good 25-30 minutes. Very impressive with a couple of things he's done. The one player that kind of stands out, gets on the ball no matter what the scenario. He was looking to do free kicks quickly. He was trying things, getting his head up, gets on the ball, doesn't offload quickly, keeps hold of the ball, always looks strong, and he's always looking around with his head forward. So I think the fact that he's taken him off, Nathan, would suggest to me that he's thinking about him for Monday in some role. Obviously in terms of an impact role, somebody that he can bring on that can do something different. The Robbie Brady question is there's probably still a question mark over. I felt he had a very good 15-20 minute spell at middle of the first half, but he's kind of gone out of the game a little bit as it's gone on. The fact that Mick has not taken him off would suggest that he's certainly not looking at a starting role on Monday, but you would think that it'll certainly strengthen our bench.
Robbie Brady, probably one of Ireland's best players in the opening 45, as Stewie says. He has faded, and maybe not surprisingly, because part of Robbie Brady's problem, and the reason he wasn't even in the squad for the last doubleheader, is he hasn't been playing any football. He's only started 2 Premier League games in 2019 for Burnley. He's getting a couple of minutes here, there and everywhere, and look, peak Robbie Brady strolls into the Republic of Ireland side, you would imagine, but there's not much Mick McCarthy can do when he's not playing a lot of matches. Everyone was wondering about Troy Parrott because not many people have seen him, let's be quite honest. We've seen bits and pieces of him with the 21s. You catch glimpses of youth team matches with Spurs. It seems as though he can score any type of goal. Tonight, probably a realisation, certainly during this campaign under Mick McCarthy, things may change under Stephen Kenny, that if you're playing for the Republic of Ireland as the number 9, as the out-and-out striker, everyone has to kind of do the same job. You just got to work bloody hard, run the lines and try and make a bit of an impact.
Yeah, it's a difficult ask, Nathan, I have to say. I mean, that playing up front for an Ireland team, especially when we play 4-5-1, is a very, very difficult ask. You're being asked to run channels, offer yourself as some sort of pivotal link man. I would say tonight, he was up against 2 very good centre halves, big lads as well, and he certainly acquitted himself well. Wasn't found wanting in that department. Just the service wasn't there for me. Was never really played into the game. Was always willing to run channels, offered himself forward. It's a pity. He had a very good opportunity probably in the first 10 minutes when Jack Byrne played him over the top, and he was just caught offside. And if he had stuck that one away, it might have been a different game for him. But you have to look at the service. Hasn't really been there for him. We're on a break now. We've got
a 3-on-3 break. Seanie Maguire flying through the middle, obviously full of confidence after finally breaking his duck. Gives it to Robinson on the left-hand side, who tried to beat the keeper at the near post. He actually had the option at the back post if he'd looked up of Alan Judge, who had flown forward as well. But Robinson tried to take it on himself. But a flying break. New Zealand had put together a good passage of play to attack down to our left-hand side. Ireland broke quickly, and Robinson, well, he very nearly beat the keeper at the near post. Seanie Maguire.
He hit it well. The keeper's decent. Marinovic pulled off a very good save earlier on as well from, I think it might have been Troy Parrott when he was played through 1v1. Makes himself big and he closes down the angle really quick. So it's been a good test for us, Nathan. They're a good side, this New Zealand side. I've been quite impressed with I've been saying it to you while we're off air, the 40 and Ryan Thomas. Really neat and tidy midfielder, never gives the ball away. Quite tricky as well. Got a good shot on him. Plays for PSV Eindhoven, so wouldn't be surprised that he's a good player.
Yeah, there's a lot of injuries, Ryan Thomas, over the last 14-15 months. Seanie Maguire's day is done. He's got his goal. Relief for Seanie Maguire, and he's been replaced by James Collins. And it's funny how quickly these things switch. A couple of years ago, Seanie Maguire was the man coming on here to rapturous ovation. The next big thing, everyone delighted to see him in after how successful he was at Cork, and he's just had a bit of a nightmare over the last couple of years with injuries, these constant hamstring problems, never getting a run of games. And you mentioned it earlier, in a weird way, Seanie Maguire has very quickly become the forgotten man of this Irish team. Started that first qualifier in Gibraltar, which was just a mess of a game because of the conditions. There were no real opportunities, and has barely seen any game time since, but really took his goal unbelievably well. It was one of those shots just on the edge of the D that usually you try and bend into the top corner. He did get a bit of bend, but there was so much power behind it. There was no chance for the keeper. Yeah, it's an absolutely stunning finish. And what was interesting was he started the game down this left-hand side, and he was asked to do a little bit of a shift in the first half. Wasn't getting much service. Ball wasn't coming his way really all that too often. And any time he did get the ball, it was quite tight. He was quite isolated. But he's didn't get the head down, put his work in. And then ultimately in the second half, when he found himself inside in that central area, and like you say, about 25 yards out, once it came to him, he had about 4 or 5 yards space. Callum Robinson coming on the left-hand side now. Left-hand side of the area. James Collins is on, waiting at the back post. Robinson again took on the shot. This time, though, it was blocked by the first defender and cleared by New Zealand. We're all, I think, still trying to figure out as the ball comes in again to Robinson, who scores Ireland's third goal of the game. What a cross from this near side from Leo O'Connor on his debut. Straight away, Robbie Brady runs to celebrate with the right back. That was a sumptuous ball from Leo O'Connor over the top of the New Zealand defenders, and Callum Robinson got in front of his defender bravely to head home from close range. And the Republic of Ireland, having been behind, remember, as we went towards half-time with 15 minutes remaining, now lead by 3 goals to 1. What a delivery, Nathan. Absolutely fantastic. Do you know what? I really like to look at him. It's just as intense. The way he goes about his business, he's always looking to do something different, looking to play forward. It's a wonderful delivery in for Callum Robinson, who's brave, gets down and heads it wide, or heads it into the goal, sorry. Interesting to see Robbie Brady straight over to Leo O'Connor to congratulate him. Obviously the young man on his debut, setting up a goal like that. He's been played really well in this first half of the second half, looking to get forward, and that's a hell of a delivery he's given for Robinson. Well, Mick McCarthy will be delighted with this second half, because both Seanie Maguire and Callum Robinson have broken their international duck and got their first international goals, and it means that the Republic of Ireland, much like in the game against Bulgaria, leading by 3 goals to 1, and probably deservedly so. While New Zealand have played well at times, Ireland by and large have been the better team in this game, and they now are looking quite comfortable, and exactly the sort of confidence boost that Mick McCarthy would want ahead of Monday's game, particularly after the setbacks against Georgia and Switzerland. And not too many of these players will feature on Monday night, but the vibes within the squad are going to be important over the course of the weekend, and these players, most of them I'd say, will be absolutely buzzing, which is exactly what you want, putting that little bit of pressure on those senior players who know maybe they can't relax. Absolutely, I completely agree with that. Brilliant ball to Robbie Brady from Callum Robinson, and Callum Robinson, who's probably front of the queue for that spot on the right of the front three at the moment, certainly hasn't done himself any harm since he's come on. There you go. You see what confidence does for you. Callum Robinson gets his goal, and all of a sudden he's trying things a little bit differently, trying to play Robbie Brady in over the top there. Should have backed his right foot, shouldn't he, really, instead of going for the outside of his left foot. But what you say is true, Nathan. I think the real thing about tonight's game was trying to get a bit of a confidence booster going into this game on Monday. It gives the whole, the whole squad, even the supporters, a little bit of a lift.
and hopefully come Monday there'll be a real atmosphere, and you know, Ireland supporters be the 12th man, which we're going to need, let's be honest with it. You know, when you look at the players who have come off, Jack Byrne's come off, I thought he was very, very good in the first half. Gives us that something different. Looks to play forward. We'll try something. So will Mick look at him as maybe bringing him on as an impact player 15-20 minutes ago? I think, yeah, it's very much a possibility. He's brought Troy Parrott off as well at the same time. Is he looking at him maybe to bring him on Monday? I would say, yeah, a possibility. And you'd say the same against Sean Maguire. Gotten his goal, could have had a second couple of minutes later where he took one in on his chest and the keeper pulled up a very good save. So what you have is a confident Sean Maguire now coming into Monday. So that's all. It's all quite positive for us. Looks good.
And Monday is a slightly different game because it's the final game of the group in terms of how your substitutions go. Because if Ireland get a lead, you're looking at it slightly differently. You're probably looking at somebody with a bit of pace who can give you that sort of outball, a freshness of a Sean Maguire or a Troy Parrott. You find yourself behind, maybe you're looking for something slightly different, a Jack Byrne who can suddenly prise open a defence very late on.
Well, that's the way I would look. I think our game plan going into Monday, now could be wrong, but the way I would look at it is our first intention will be to nullify Denmark, you know, to stop the quality players, the likes of the Erikssons, from getting on the ball and trying to create things. So in other words, keeping it tight for the first 60 minutes, 65 minutes. That's when that tends to have been when we're at our best, you know. And if that is the case, if we can keep Denmark tight goalless, or keep a goalless 65-70 minutes, then you've got the options of bringing somebody on. You've got, you know, the option of set pieces.
Robinson with the shot, and it was a dangerous effort as well. 25 yards out, just on the left hand side, took it on his right foot, dipping effort, but the New Zealand goalkeeper Stefan Marinovic manages to just palm it over the top of the crossbar. But Callum Robinson, very impressive since he came on as a substitute, and you would think front and centre in Mick McCarthy's thoughts to start on Monday night. We will talk more about this game and try and predict what Mick McCarthy will do between now and 10 o'clock. 53106 is the text number. Do get in touch at Off The Ball on Twitter. We'll stick with this corner kick just before we go to Wembley and see what's going on with England, who are very much going to be a part of Euro 2020. Have been cruising through the qualifiers, but it's a corner kick down to our right hand side. It'll be taken by the Irish captain Robbie Brady, left footed. Created the chance for Derek Williams' equaliser. Decent ball in again, not fully cleared. They managed to get it out. And the second time it's smashed back in there though by Conor Howerhan. However, New Zealand do enough. They've enough bodies back there to clear it out to the left hand side. Robinson skips past one challenge over by the corner flag, holding onto the ball, a little bit isolated. Has Howerhan in a more central position, gives it to Conor Howerhan. The run was made up the left hand side. They didn't use that player though, and here they come again. Josh Cullen, lovely ball through. It may well find its way to Kieran Clark, who would stay forward, and is obviously in a great run of goal scoring form. Didn't happen from that time, and New Zealand managed to pick it up. So let's go to Wembley. The England footballers, they're currently in action. They are taking on Montenegro. Let's get the latest from Joe Rawson.
It remains England 6, Montenegro 0 in this Euro 2020 qualifier here at Wembley. The 1000th England international, and England marking this landmark occasion in some style. They have understandably taken their foot off the gas a little bit in this second half. Just an own goal from Alexander Sofanak, adding to 5 first half strikes for the Three Lions. 3 of those for the captain Harry Kane, Marcus Rashford and Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, all on the score sheet. James Maddison has come on to make his debut. It's been a very comfortable evening for Gareth Southgate's side. England 6, Montenegro 0.
Yeah, Harry Kane maintaining his incredible goal-scoring run with England, and you just feel it's a matter of time before he ends up taking Wayne Rooney's all-time record elsewhere in some of the European qualifiers. And all of this does have some sort of relevance potentially for the Republic of Ireland in terms of playoffs. Czech Republic lead Kosovo by 2-1. They have come from 1-0 down in that game to lead by 2-1, and that would mean that the Republic of Ireland couldn't play Bosnia in a qualifier. It does get a little bit complicated, Stewie, but it would mean more than likely the Republic of Ireland, if they don't beat Denmark, would be playing either Slovakia or Wales in a playoff away from home. But we'll get to that, I'm sure, no doubt, in the coming days.
We don't want to go there, Nathan. We want to beat the Danes. on Monday.
Hat-trick for Harry Kane, hat-trick as well for Cristiano Ronaldo. Portugal 6-0 up against Lithuania. Serbia leading Luxembourg by 3-2. Elsewhere, France have come from behind to lead Moldova by 2-1, thanks to goals from Raphael Varane and a penalty from Olivier Giroud. France already qualified, as are Turkey, who played out a scoreless draw against Iceland. So that's you up to date with the latest scores in the qualifiers. Obviously a busy few days ahead. A lot of text messages coming in with thoughts on this. Tony and Wicklow wondering about Shane Long, how he's not in the squad. Surely better than some of the players named.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose Shane's had a bit of a, I wouldn't say a love-hate relationship with the Ireland setup. It's probably kind of a bit of hot and cold stuff, really, isn't it? You'd argue that.
Well, he's also not playing at club level.
Yeah, I mean, that just. I think McCarthy has pretty much from the outset in this campaign said he's not going to go that route. It's kind of strange a little bit, because when you look at the likes of maybe James Collins, that's probably what he gives you, is something similar to Long. Long will probably be a little bit quicker, but I don't know what the thoughts in his head is really. But you think that the fact that he hasn't really been playing at club level has certainly played a part in that.
Sorry, I'm just so bloody cold there. I was shivering.
I'm cold as well, Nathan, but I'm not moaning about it. I'm moaning about plenty of other things. $2.50 for a Mars bar. It's still $2.50 for a Mars bar.
I bought you a pack of crisps in return.
The crisps
not even a salt
and vinegar
and a cup of tea.
Nice.
You can't be complaining about that. Paul in Dublin wondering if there's any chance of Leo O'Connor overtaking Matt Doherty in the pecking order. I suspect that's a short answer.
No, not yet. But I tell you what, he's a player. I really like to look at that kid. It's just as intense. You can just see he's looking to get forward. He's always looking to take the ball, on the step forward, and I think he's definitely one for the future.
Yeah, he couldn't have done much more. It's been pretty much flawless from Leo O'Connor, and that delivery for Callum Robinson's goal was exceptional. Leo O'Connor raises probably an interesting talking point over the coming months about where Irish football is going, because it's sort of out of Stephen Kenny's hands as to what happens with Leo O'Connor. We can see he's a very good footballer. He showed that for the 21s as well. But if he doesn't make the breakthrough at club level, there's not much we can do. James Collins in behind. Looked as though he was in an offside position, and he puts his shot to the right and wide. The keeper must have got a touch. He was in behind the New Zealand defence. He just couldn't get it out of his feet to get the shot off, and the keeper was out quickly. And then, well, I thought he was certainly in an offside position. The flag stayed down. He was put through again by Callum Robinson, scrapping away. No, he was in an onside position.
Force touch lets him down.
But he really should have scored.
Yeah, doesn't get himself, it doesn't get his body between him and the defender. Force touch lets him down, and after that he's scrapping. You can see he's trying to dig it out. Keeper, as we just mentioned, comes out, closes down really quickly, forces him to put it wide. Does he get a save? He probably does get a little flick into the keeper, actually. Yeah, it's a great chance. He should have scored.
Just the point I was raising there, that we'll talk a lot about the 21s over the next while. You just hope that they can get in at club level, because Leo O'Connor, as we mentioned earlier, hasn't played a game of senior football, yet here he is making his international debut for the Republic of Ireland, not looking out of place.
That's always the trouble. I mean in reality, that you can talk a player up as much as you can, but if you're not playing at club level, or if you're not even sort of getting on the pitch, like I don't think he hasn't played a game for Celtic since his move. No, he's been on the bench, but hasn't even got on.
No, playing.
Yeah, it's going to be a difficulty for him. It's going to be a difficulty for him. I mean, obviously, maybe coming into January, he may look at a loan move, possibly to get out and get some more football. But that's just the dilemma that every player faces. I think there's a lot of talk about this sort of Stephen Kenny thing coming in, that we're going to play a different brand of football, and hopefully that is the case. But I don't know. 6 months is a long time in football, Nathan, as well. I mean, I think this qualifying campaign is the thing that we really need to concern ourselves about for now, and see how we go from there.
All right, plenty more to come from Stewie. 5 minutes to go here at the Aviva Stadium. It is Thursday night's football show here on Off the Ball. The Republic of Ireland leading by 3-1. The goals from Derek Williams, Shawnee Maguire and Callum Robinson. Just before ads, Ken and Nay says maybe Stewie should call his next EP $2.50 for a Mars bar.
I may well do, actually, yeah.
When's the album, Stewie?
I'm trying to get it out by the end of the month, but I need money.
We're having a launch party.
I need money.
He needs money.
Don't send a label to give me money, or someone give me money.
Don't send jokes this time. Just send money for Stewie to get his music out.
Just give us a few, Bob.
All right, we'll take a quick break.
Football on Off the Ball.
With Paddy Power, the greatest football partnership since Jeff and Heskey.
News Talk Breakfast.
We've got our emphasis completely wrong in this country. We've got among the best paid public servants in the OECD, but our public services, our public infrastructure is bordering on shambolic though. And the reality is there are no votes in building a maternity hospital or in building proper water infrastructure. Let's be blunt, politicians aren't interested if there isn't votes in it. But let's not just blame the politicians. We, the electorate, aren't interested either.
News Talk Breakfast with Shane Coleman and Kieran Cuddihy.
In association with AIR.
Back tomorrow from 7 on News Talk.
Frequency illusion. When you first notice something, then start to see it everywhere you go. Like electric scooters, or wireless headphones, or ankleless socks. Why are we talking about frequency illusion? Oh, no reason. By the way, Skoda have just launched their first compact SUV, the Kamiq. The Kamiq starts from only €21,300. The all-new Skoda Kamiq. You'll be seeing a lot more of it. Skoda. Simply clever. Price excludes delivery and related charges.
Hi, my name is Kate. Before I did the Camino walk in transition year, I went to Foot Solutions because I knew it would be really tough on my feet. The staff were great and fitted me with fantastic runners that gave me loads of support and cushioned my feet, so I didn't suffer from any blisters or soreness. What a relief. I guess I'm proof that you don't need a problem to visit Foot Solutions.
Visit Foot Solutions in Dublin, Cork, Waterford, Limerick, Galway and Newbridge, or visit footsolutions.ie.
Imagine Bus Connects, an efficient, reliable bus network for Dublin, taking more people to more places more often. Better for the future needs of our growing city. That's why, based on hearing from 50,000 people, we've revised our bus network proposals to bring better bus services for Dublin. You spoke, we listened. Now we want to hear from you again. So we've opened a second round of public consultation. For details on the proposed bus services, how to give feedback, and to check out our new route mapper, visit busconnects.ie. Bus Connects is an initiative of the Government of Ireland.
This Christmas, give a book from Eason. We have the best of Irish published blockbuster books, including Joe Duffy and Freya McClemence's Children of the Troubles, John Scally's GAA Rivalries, Mike Hanrahan's Beautiful Affair, A Listening Ear by Michael Healy-Rae, and the two Johnnies' hilarious Dear Johnnies. The best Christmas story is the one you give. Eason, be inspired.
Keep on moving.
When we launched the Seat Tarraco, we were confident it would make a statement. The 7-seat model offers Irish drivers a real alternative when considering a large SUV. It combines the hallmarks you've come to expect from us: great design, technology, space and class-leading safety. But don't just take our word for it, as the Seat Tarraco has just been awarded the 2020 Irish Large SUV of the Year. To find out more about Ireland's best 7-seater SUV, visit seat.ie. Seat Tarraco. Why not now?
Keep on moving, and you get a little further.
Have a great evening with itsforwomen.ie. Don't live your life on hold. Get a quote now at itsforwomen.ie and see why we're trusted by over 130,000 women in Ireland.
Off the ball. This is News Talk.
Republic of Ireland 3, New Zealand 1 into the final minute here of this friendly at the Aviva Stadium. Analysis to come from Stuey Byrne. Final chance to enter tonight's competition. Every night this week we're giving you the chance to win dinner for two at the award-winning brasserie at the luxurious 5-star Marker Hotel. The brasserie located beside the Burgosh Energy Theatre and is the perfect place for pre-theatre dining or parties for the festive season. To be able a chance of winning, just answer this question. 17-year-old Troy Power tonight became Ireland's third youngest senior international of all time. But can you tell us which other former Spurs striker remains the youngest? Text Marker followed by your name and answer to 53106 for 30 cents. We'll contact the winner after the show. It's all with thanks to the brasserie at the Marker Hotel, where you can enjoy their menu, a unique twist on the traditional. So the Republic of Ireland on their way to a confidence-boosting victory ahead of the big game on Monday night, that final Euro 2020 qualifier against Denmark, where it's win or bust for the Republic of Ireland. It will be live here on Off the Ball on Monday night, the full show coming to you from the Aviva Stadium. Damien Delaney will be alongside me on the evening. Ireland looking for a fourth here. We're in injury time right at the end of this game. Robbie Brady, who's played the full 90 and probably hasn't done enough to force his way into the team for Monday night, has the ball on this right hand side, plays a nice little ball into the centre then to Josh Cullen, who lays it off. It's drilled by Alan Judge to this near side. decent ball in there. And there was a couple of Irish players making an use of themselves, including Callum O'Dowda, who just couldn't get a good connection on that header. Skimmed off the head of a New Zealand player and out of play for a corner kick to the Republic of Ireland. New Zealand, well, they've come this far. I guess they're as well to make as many changes as they possibly can. Going to bring on Tim Payne in place of Storm Rue. Great name.
I was just going to say, hell of that's the guy. That's the lad who just defended that cross there as well. Storm Rue.
Storm Rue.
What do you think, Nathan? Good stage name, Storm Rue.
You could go with that, Stewie. Stuey Byrne, Storm Rue.
Hang on, you were going to say it's better than Stewart.
Storm Stewie.
You were just about to say it's better than Stewart.
All right, can Ireland get a fourth goal? Deep into injury time. Corner kick is taken. It's headed by James Collins. He was just a little bit off balance, and he heads it high up above the crossbar. And that should probably be that. The referee, I can't imagine, is too keen to hang on and play too much more injury time. He's going to let New Zealand just try and play it out the back, and they've made a mistake and they've given it to Ireland. It could be an opportunity here. Robinson was free in the centre. Collins didn't get it in quickly. Cullen will drill it in towards the back post. Too much pace on it though, over everybody's heads, and it'll drift out to the far side for a throw in to New Zealand. The Aviva Stadium, which was sparse enough to begin with, I'd say 20,000 here. Plenty of kids though getting to come along and watch the next generation. It'll be a very different atmosphere, I suspect, here on Monday night, where it'll be a packed house for that qualifier against the new old enemy, against Denmark. Sick of the sight of them we are at this stage.
Sick of the sight of them, yeah. Sick of getting beaten by them.
The referee has just looked at the sideline. I think that maybe suggests he's lost his watch or something, and he's not quite sure how long he's gone, because we're now heading into a third minute of injury time in a game that really doesn't deserve any injury time. Remember, New Zealand led in this game through Callum McCowett, scored on half an hour. Ireland, though, it played well throughout and struck back. Derek Williams just before half-time, and then first international goals in the second half for both Shawnee Maguire and Callum Robinson. And there goes the final whistle at the Aviva Stadium. Job very much done for the Republic of Ireland. Mick McCarthy shakes hands with his opposition coach, and he'll be particularly pleased, Stewie, with that second half and those goals for Shawnee Maguire and Callum Robinson. Before the game, the big talking point was maybe Robbie Brady or Callum Robinson. And what we saw tonight, who's very much front and centre to start on the right-hand side against Denmark on Monday.
Yeah, when you think about it, Nate, I mean, obviously Robbie Brady starting. I mean, he's gotten very much little in the way of football, so obviously Mick has probably had a look and say, look, stick him in there, see how he goes. I don't know whether Robbie has done too much to kind of maybe force his way into the thoughts of Mick McCarthy. He's played the whole game as well, so you'd have to say that he probably won't. Callum Robinson came on and really looked well, took his goal really well, and then all of a sudden looked a really confident player. He was starting to try things, so I don't know what way he's going to go. All I will say is that, you know, what you take out of the game is, can you imagine if we had been beaten tonight? Can you imagine what training would have been like in the morning? Fellas' heads would have been down. And the team that's going to start on Monday, that would have fed into the whole atmosphere, and it would just, you know, I wouldn't say it'd be a toxic atmosphere, but it'd be a negative. What you're going to have now, players coming in the morning, a little bit of banter, feeling good about going into Monday, and that's all we need. That's all we need, is to have everything in as best a preparation as we possibly can, and then the players, whoever's picked on Monday, just got to do the business.
First international starts tonight for Troy Parrott, still just 17 years of age, and also for Jack Byrne in the middle of midfield. Both of them played just over an hour. How would you assess their performances?
I think for Troy, you know, for Troy's point of view, 17 years of age, you know, just getting on the pitch and playing for the senior team was a big thing for him. I like the fact that he's had a little bit of a go at the big centre half, Winston Reid. You know, he's put it up to him a little bit. That tells me a lot about him. He's confident in his own ability. He can stand up to anybody. Not much came his way, but didn't strike a frustrating figure to me, you know, and he looks like he's got a very good attitude about him. So all in all, a positive night for him. Similar for Jack Byrne. I thought he was quite impressive in I'd probably say the first 25 minutes where we were on the front foot until, of course, New Zealand scored. And I think he showed that he's capable of doing something different. And again, I've always felt that Jack, in his current role in the Ireland team, is somebody who can come on 15-20 minutes and just try something. When the legs are a little bit tired, try something different, get on the ball, get turned, you know, make things happen. So I would have thought that he's certainly in Mick McCarthy's thought for Monday.
Of all